If we look next at the depth, we're looking at the depth of the soil profile in its total here. That's explained on page 14. We need to look at the depth of the soil profile and place it into one of these categories: deep, moderately deep, shallow, or very shallow, based upon the inches of soil that are usable within that soil profile. Well, in this particular situation, it says the depth of the soil profile is 48 inches, which would place this soil into the deep category. Anything over 40 inches would be deep. However, in this situation, since the roots of the plants are not growing below that platy pan at 22 inches, we would then downgrade the depth of this profile, since that's the effective rooting depth of plants is 22 inches, into the moderately deep category, since 22 inches falls between 20 and 40 inches in depth on this depth of soil category. So I evaluated the depth of soil in this case to be moderately deep due to the presence of that pan at 22 inches with roots not evident below that point. Category, or the next item, number E, that we are asked to evaluate is slope. We look at the slope that we measured. We'd be doing this with an Abney level as demonstrated in the laboratory exercise. We measured the slope at 12%. We see that 12% under dryland puts this into the third category, which ranges from 8 to 15%. So we should have darkened the circle beside number 3, 8 to 15% under dryland, with this being evaluated at 12% slope. The next item we were asked to evaluate is the erosion. What amount of erosion has occurred based upon the original topsoil depth in comparison to what is there today? And we're just following through the individual pages in your land evaluation manual, and it tells us over on page 16 that erosion is to be evaluated as none to slight, moderate, severe, and very severe. Now, if we look at the parameters for each of these categories, none to slight says less than 25% of the original topsoil has been removed. Moderate, 25 to 75% of the original topsoil is removed. Now, you and I may not agree with these categories. It would seem that if we lost up to 75% of the original topsoil depth, that would be severe, not moderate erosion. However, for the purpose of this exercise, we will go with the categories that are in the manual. And in this situation, our original topsoil depth was 36 inches, given to us on the site card. The topsoil that we evaluated as being there today was 20 inches. So the difference between the 20 and the 36 is 16 inches. That 16 inches of soil represents 16 of the original 36, or approximately 44%. We've lost 44% of the original topsoil at this site, which puts our erosion into the moderate category, between 25 and 75%. So underneath item number underneath item number F on your land evaluation scorecard, you should mark erosion as being moderate.